Hi everyone, welcome to Tuesday. So hopefully a lot of you or some of you witnessed a amazing event yesterday, the total solar eclipse of 2024. We had a wonderful time, and if you pay any attention to astrology or even spirituality, or culture in itself has a lot to do with the moon. So, we might see things that say, like, oh, if I was in a bad mood, it was a full moon, just blame the moon. A lot of the Native American cultures, they have a lot of practices that revolve around the moon. Actually, they're not even allowed to look at the moon, especially during an eclipse. Also, like Mercury and retrograde and all those crazy things happen, and they can affect our psyche, they can affect our energy, they can affect all kinds of different things. So if you think of it as just a scientific thing, the moon moves the tide, right? The tide comes in and out, and that is based on the moon. Humans are made up of like 90% water. So imagine what the moon is doing to us. We have water in our bodies as much as, there's water on the earth. So if you believe in it, and if, whether it's scientific or astrology or spiritually, how the moon can affect us. If you see in movies, people turn into werewolves when there's a full moon because it makes them crazy. So a lot of background about the moon. So today's meditation is kind of going to be around the moon and what it brings to us and what we might feel. Whether you witnessed it face to face yesterday, whether you looked up at the sky and saw it with your eyes, or maybe you watched it on TV instead, or maybe you chose not to, and that's okay too. But the moon was still there, whether you looked at it or not. The sun was still there, and we're going to tap in to see what was going on in our minds and in our bodies during that time, and how we can kind of bring in that energy that the moon has given us. So let's start by breathing. Of course, we're going to sit up nice and tall in our chairs, create room for the lungs to expand. Relax your shoulders. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Fill those lungs all the way up. And exhale. And release. Good. Again, inhale, breathe. Get that oxygen into the body, into the blood, to the brain, and exhale slow. Good. Breathe in. And breathe out. One more time. Deep breath. And open the mouth. Really let it all go. Good job. Let's bring some movement into the center of the chest. We're going to kind of focus on that area later on when we get into our meditation. So we want to take that space of the chest, the heart, and maybe even imagine in your mind the heart opening as well as the chest muscles. So take the shoulders or the elbows back and see how far you can bring those elbows back until you feel a stretch through the chest and into the shoulder blades. And then wrap the arms around like you're giving yourself a big hug and round out those shoulders. Good. Open it up. Nice big stretch. And then round it out. Give yourself a hug. Good. Open it up. Bring it all in. And one more time. Big stretch. open hearts, and then round it out. Give yourself a hug. All right, relax, shake it off. Maybe a few twists here. Loosen up the rib cage. Whatever feels good to loosen up that upper half of the body. All right, and then let's settle in. Sink into your chair, let your eyes start to close. Maybe a few more breaths, a few more sighs just to get it all out. If you're feeling anything specifically going on in the body or the mind today. So take a moment to close your eyes and begin to focus that attention to your breath. Start to slow down a bit. Slow down the thoughts, the chatter in the mind. Slow down the breathing. Inhale and fill. Exhale and empty. And as you start to breathe, begin to picture in your mind that moon and sun, and how it starts off with a full sun, and then the moon starts to cover a little bit and a little bit and a little bit until it's a tiny little crescent, and then it's fully covered at the heart center, and then the sun starts to open back up. So that whole phase of the moon, imagine that as you start to breathe from your belly button up into your throat, and then from your throat back down to your belly button. And closing the eyes, start to visualize the phases of the moon. And if you watched the solar eclipse yesterday, the whole way through, maybe visualize that moment, that miraculous event that only comes around in a lifetime or in a generation. And start to see that movement of the moon through the breath and through the body. And we slowly begin to feel that lightness and darkness, the change as we breathe. And allow this experience to come deep into that spiritual side and start to kind of bring to attention what you feel. Scientifically, we look at this in awe. Like, how amazing is it, our planets moving, and the sun and the stars and the moon, and how all of that aligns in different ways and gives us these beautiful visual experiences. And then maybe also think about it in a spiritual sense, on the creation of this universe and how wonderful and beautiful these things are, and how they've been given to us here on earth. Slowly breathing in and out, feeling that lightness and darkness move through the center of your body. Notice any feelings or sensations that come about as you breathe, as the moon moves through you. As the sun starts to shine again, as the darkness comes through. A lot of different things might be coming up for you emotionally and spiritually. With the eyes closed and still that connection with your breath, begin to envision the universe, what it looks like to you in your mind. With the eyes closed, see all the stars, the Milky Way, the planets, and the swirls and the colors, so much beyond our existence, beyond us being these little tiny beings here on Earth. The universe is so vast. Start to see what that looks like to you in your mind. Stay in this space, fully seeing this landscape of the universe in your mind. Notice every bright star and every detail of the planets, whether they're correct or not, however you see them, allow that to come to mind. And pay full attention to everything that you're seeing in your mind's eye. The moon, whether it's a big event like the solar eclipse or just a full moon that we see pretty often. And these can be big moments in our lives as they represent new beginnings, time to manifest things in your life, whether you're talking to the universe or to God. And we begin to allow the moon to give us that energy and that those good vibes. So dig a little deeper and go into what your intentions are as this new full moon is here with us. Think of how you have grown spiritually after yesterday's experience, if you were there, or just in general throughout the years. And then think of your intentions on where you'd like to be. I intend to live my life to the fullest. I intend to be open-minded and open-hearted as I move through my life. I intend on bringing peace and joy. I intend on being positive. And then again, this is a great time to manifest the things that we want to bring into our lives. So if there is something that's missing, maybe it's love, maybe it's health, maybe it's just getting on the right track to being organized or eating healthier, whatever it is that you want to manifest into your life. We can ask the universe or ask God to help us on that journey. And instead of praying or thinking of the things we want to change, just start to see that change already happening. So picture yourself healthy, maybe walking, feeling better, Picture yourself more organized. Picture love coming into your life. Maybe that person doesn't have a face as you manifest this, but you can feel the love. You can feel the embrace. You can feel it in your heart. Picture these things as if they were already happening, as if they were already true. Know in your heart and in your mind that these things are possible. And that they are coming to you in this very moment. And then take that scenario in your mind of you manifesting whatever it is that you need in your life or that you want in your life. And begin to visualize you in that situation up in the universe, up in the sky, in the stars. Surrounded by light, surrounded by this beautiful energy. Maybe you start to feel, with the eyes closed, a smile coming over your face. As we just sense all of the goodness that is around us. The new beginnings, the new chapters, the getting rid of the stuff we don't need anymore, and the accepting of the things that we do want and deserve. Know that this is all possible if we truly believe it in our minds and our hearts. And release the vision of your manifestation or your intention. And start to just see yourself walking slowly through the universe. Walking through the stars, the Milky Way. Walking past the planets, the moon, the sun. And allow yourself to be one with the universe. We are all part of this together. And then begin to see yourself as a star in the sky. This beautiful shining star, completely a piece of this universe. This miracle that we don't get to see with our own eyes too often, but we can definitely see through amazing pictures from NASA and even in paintings and art. Like anything, a lot of times we believe in things that we can't see. We believe in ourselves, even though we can't see sometimes the goodness within us. We believe in the future and all that we deserve. We believe in the good things coming to us, even though we don't see them right now. We can see them in our minds and believe them 100%. Take a few more moments to walk through the universe. And seeing yourself as that bright star. And then very slowly imagine yourself transcending back down to earth. Very slowly, as if you were a shooting star. Just coming down with this bright light, your full being coming back down. And back down to the earth. Back down to your community. Back into the room where you are, the chair that you're in. And allow yourself to sit here in this moment just as bright as you were in the sky. Feel and see yourself shining bright. Take a few more moments to be present here. Feeling everything that has come to surface today. And feeling that connection with the universe, with something much larger than we are. Feel the effects of the moon and the sun. And feel that good energy that surrounds you. And slowly bring your awareness back to your breathing. Maybe again envision the movement of the moon, the phases of the moon as they move, as you breathe. Start to invite in soft movement, wiggling your fingers, waking up the hands. Wiggle the toes inside of your shoes. Let your head softly rock from side to side. As we wake up the head and the neck. And then very slowly start to find that nice posture in your chair again. Slowly start to open the eyes, maybe a few blinks as the light comes back in. And let's together take a nice deep breath. Inhale, fill yourself all the way up, and exhale, let it all go. Thank you all for being here with me today. Again, I hope that you were able to make some kind of contact with, again, something spiritual, something scientific, something that is held dear in your heart, a connection with the universe, a connection with God, a connection with this wonderful space and life that we have. And take that with you into the rest of your week. Take that knowing and belief of good things to come, of new beginnings, of being able to start fresh and start over whenever we want to. Being able to change our attitude, change our thoughts, just by looking into our mind a little deeper, looking into our hearts and allowing our hearts to open fully. It's not an easy thing to do sometimes, but sometimes we get it right. Thank you all again, and I hope you enjoyed this week. Between the solar eclipse, between the weather getting warmer, the sun's out longer. I think it's 8 o'clock and the sun's still out, and summer right around the bend. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next Tuesday.